as the piece that you saw illustrated. It's going to have a lot of wonderful filmmakers and films, and one of them is Mr. John Eric Williams, filmmaker that is, and I thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, now you had a little movie in our Festival of Cinema as well last year.
Yes, I did.
Tell me about that experience.
Well, it was a surprise. First of all, I was kind of shocked that I got in. It was my first attempt. Well, I've been gleaning from a few people, but...
No, you had been helping some other productions.
Absolutely.
Well, why don't we tell folks a little bit about your background so that they can kind of, you know, let's set the stage for folks to see what...
Actually, about 5 years ago, I got into acting because...
Yep.
I have a music background, and the acting was similar because it's just projecting, you know, creativity, so to speak. And so the acting sort of led to the music again. The music led to editing. The editing led to production, and then I thought I could do that. And then I just pretty much wrote something that was true to my own life, which was frustration of commuting, you know. So.
Now, did you say the music led to acting, or the acting led to music?
Yes. You could do it either way.
You could do it either way?
My main background is music, yes. I've started when I was about 6 years old. And I was always a little shy to do the acting when I was younger. And got a little confidence with age, I guess.
But you had contributed to some of the shows, some of the movies that have that we've seen around Sacramento.
In 2002, Some Kind of Magic. I actually scored that one, and I hung around the set for quite a while. And that's pretty much how I got the start. I met Erin Kruger on that, and her and I worked very well together. So we started to produce a film called Mirror Man, which we just finished because a few projects got in the middle, including last year's festival, which we both entered and both got in. So immediately after that, I got an acting role. I was offered a starring role in a feature, and that 3 weeks projected time turned into 3 months. So. And I came off of that and started finishing Mirror Man, and now I'm working with a new writer, up-and-coming screenwriter, Kevin Haskin, and working with Laurie Peterson and some of the, what I consider the cream of the crop of town. We've gotten together, and we've got all kinds of good things.
Yeah, you got a lot of irons in the fire. Well, tell me a little bit about the Place Called Sacramento movie that you did last year. Again, started out with a screenplay, right? And then submitted... what was the, it's called Getting There.
Right.
What was the idea behind it?
Getting There. Frustration. I live in the suburbs, not too far from work, and I've tried all kinds of things in lieu of driving my car, including busing and biking and all that sort of thing. So I developed 4 different characters who had some little comical ventures coming downtown.
And you know what? And we do have a little clip of it, John. Why don't we go ahead and take a little peek and see just a little bit, just a snippet from Getting There. We'll be right back. Stay right there.
Come on!
I gotta get before it's too late.
Holy Lord. Guys. Okay, pee. I gotta go pee.
Get out of my way, out of my way. I gotta get there. I gotta get out of my way.
Hey, you just mind your own business. Shut up!
I'm in a hurry. I'm in a hurry. I'm in a hurry. Get out of my way, my way. I gotta get there. I gotta get before it's too late.
Now, what's going on in that scene, John?
Guys gotta go.
When you gotta go, you gotta go, right?
As an actor, if you do a lot of commuting, you know, if you go into an audition and you don't have time to stop, you're like suffering.
Now, who did the music? I like the music in the background.
Thank you, me.
That was you.
Yeah, well, you know, there's some of the new programs have some loops, and you know, I start out with, I don't play drums or guitar. I like to bring in live musicians, but in that case I didn't. I used some sound loops, but I put my own vocals and stuff in there. So you still have to compile it and give it the mood. But,
yeah, that's great.
Thank you.
So, so 4 different characters kind of converge, so to speak, or we follow them along on their trail toward getting there.
And ironically, it's they're all stressed out, and they arrive in a place that's very zen. It's actually turned out a little bit different than I originally intended, so, you know, but that's the way it goes. In 10 minutes, what can you do, you know?
In 10 minutes, you gotta pack it in there. Well, listen, I appreciate you for coming out here, and if there was any advice that you might give to screenwriters, somebody that might like to submit a script and then possibly make a movie, what would that be?
Keep it simple. Keep it simple, and get plenty of help, accept plenty of help, take your time. I learned that the hard way. I tried to do too much myself, and only use one camera person. It's just, there's too much. If it's too much, it gets too busy. So.
Good advice, good advice. Folks, we're going to run away to another little break. I want to thank John Eric Williams for being here, and when we come back, we're going to talk to a new member of